The station floated quietly above a distant blue star. Its metal walls reflected the soft glow of nearby planets. Ships from many worlds came and went, carrying goods, people, and ideas. Humans had built this station as a place where different races could trade safely. It was not large, but it was strong, and it had become a hub for travelers from countless systems. Aaron walked through the busy corridors, adjusting his uniform. He had been working on the station for a few months, and he knew most of the paths by heart. His job was simple in words but important in meaning. He guided visitors, explained the rules, and helped everyone feel welcome. Today, however, was different. He had been assigned to assist a special group of alien traders who had arrived for the first time. His heart beat faster than usual. He reached the docking bay where the alien ships were parked. Ships of unusual shapes and colors hovered quietly, their engines glowing like stars trapped in metal shells. A group of aliens stepped down from a silver ship that seemed to shimmer as if made of liquid light. Aaron stepped forward politely. He noticed the taller figures immediately. Their skin was pale like moonlight, and their eyes reflected shades of silver and blue. They moved with calm and careful grace. "Welcome to our station," Aaron said, bowing slightly. "I am Aaron. I will guide you while you are here." The aliens looked at him silently. One of them stepped forward. She was taller than the others, with long silver hair flowing behind her. Her eyes shone like polished metal. Her expression was calm, but her presence made the busy station feel still. Aaron swallowed nervously. "I am Nira," she said in a voice soft and clear. Her words were measured, precise, yet somehow gentle. "We are here to learn about your trade." Aaron nodded. He cleared his throat and smiled. "Of course, Nira. Please follow me. I will show you the main halls and the marketplaces." As he led them through the station, Aaron tried to focus on his work, but his eyes kept glancing at Nira. She walked with perfect balance, every step smooth and deliberate. The other aliens stayed behind her, but her calm presence drew all attention. Aaron felt a strange mix of admiration and nervousness. He had met many visitors before, but none like her. In the marketplace, humans and aliens moved among stalls of goods. Bright crystals from distant planets, metals heavier than Earth's iron, and foods with smells that Aaron had never imagined filled the air. Nira watched quietly, her eyes scanning everything with careful interest. She bent slightly to examine some crystals. Aaron reached out to explain. "These are energy crystals. They store power for ships and machines. They are very rare and valuable." Nira looked up at him and tilted her head slightly. "They are beautiful." Aaron smiled. "Yes, they are. Not everyone can use them safely." He tried to keep his voice steady. He wanted to be professional, but he also wanted to speak honestly. As he moved to show her a nearby stall with fruits from another planet, his words stumbled. He meant to say, "You have a graceful presence." But instead, he blurted out, "You are lovely." The words left his mouth before he could stop them. He froze. The station noise seemed to vanish. Nira's silver eyes widened slightly. Her pale skin changed color, a soft pink spreading across her cheeks. Aaron's heart raced. He had never seen an alien blush before, and he did not know how to react. For a moment, neither spoke. Aaron looked at her, his face hot with embarrassment. He tried to apologize. I did not mean to." Nira tilted her head, her eyes shining. She spoke softly. "Say it again, human." Aaron's mind went blank. He could not believe what he heard. Her voice was gentle but firm. She wanted him to repeat the word he had just said. He stumbled over his own thoughts, unsure if he had heard correctly. I. You are, lovely, he said again, slower this time. A small smile appeared on Nira's face. She did not speak for a moment, but the change in her expression told him she was not offended. Her eyes shone with curiosity and something he could not name. Aaron felt a strange warmth spread through him. He had never imagined such a response from anyone, human or alien. The other aliens watched quietly, their expressions calm and unreadable. They seemed to be waiting, but Nira did not turn to them. She focused only on Aaron. The moment felt private, even though the busy station surrounded them. Aaron cleared his throat and tried to continue. I will show you more of the station now. There are many things to see. Nira nodded. Yes, I would like to see them. As they walked through the marketplace, Aaron found himself glancing at her often. She asked questions about human food, clothing, and technology. Her curiosity was quiet but sharp. Aaron explained everything with care. Each time he spoke, she listened with complete attention, making him feel important. By the time they reached the observation deck, Aaron was calmer. The deck overlooked the space beyond the station. Stars stretched in every direction, and distant planets glowed faintly. Nira stood at the glass, her eyes reflecting the stars. She spoke softly. Your world is small, but it is full of life. Humans are strange, but I like the way they use words. Aaron smiled. We try to make words mean more than just sounds. We try to share feelings, even when we are afraid. Nira turned to him, her silver eyes meeting his. Then you were brave to say it. Aaron felt a shiver of pride. He had only spoken honestly, yet her words made it feel like a great accomplishment. For the first time in his life, he realized that even small words could bridge worlds. The station continued its quiet hum around them, but for Aaron and Nira, the noise faded. A single word, spoken by accident, had opened a door between two very different beings. The rest of the day passed in a blur of trade and explanations, but the moment stayed with him. He knew that something important had begun, something that could change not only his life but the way humans and aliens saw each other. As the sun from the nearby star dipped behind a distant planet, Aaron realized that he wanted to learn more about Nira. Not only because of the blush and the smile, but because she had shown him that humans could reach hearts even across galaxies. And for Nira, the word lovely would remain in her memory, a small human treasure she had never expected to hear. The next morning, the station was alive with the hum of activity. Humans and aliens moved together in careful rhythm, each trade and conversation adding to the soft symphony of life aboard the orbiting station. Aaron arrived early, carrying a data pad with schedules and maps. His heart still raced when he thought of Nira. He did not want to admit it, but the word lovely and her gentle smile lingered in his mind. He found Nira in the observation deck, where she often spent her mornings watching the stars. She stood close to the glass, her silver hair reflecting the pale light of the nearby star. Aaron approached quietly. "Good morning, Nira," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. She turned and nodded, her silver eyes calm. "Good morning, human. I wish to see the orbiting planets again. Your world is small, but it has many wonders." Aaron smiled. "I will take you to the viewing platform outside the station. You can see planets, moons, and even nearby starships clearly from there." As they walked through the corridors, Aaron felt a strange mixture of excitement and nervousness. He wanted to speak freely, yet he was aware of the other aliens nearby. Nira did not seem concerned about the Watchers, her focus was entirely on him. That focus gave Aaron courage. When they reached the viewing platform, Nira looked out at the vast space beyond. Colors from the nebulae and distant planets shimmered, casting a soft glow over her pale skin. She turned to Aaron. Humans value life in unusual ways. You build, you explore, you risk everything for understanding. It is fascinating. Aaron nodded. We try to understand the universe and each other. Sometimes we fail, but we never stop trying. For a moment, they stood in silence, letting the quiet hum of the station fill the space between them. Then Nira spoke again. Tell me about your world. What makes it important to humans? Aaron leaned against the railing, looking at the stars and then at her. Our world is full of people, families, and memories. We have ideas and dreams. We make mistakes, but we learn. I think that is why it matters. Life is small in the universe, but it is precious to us. Nero listened closely. Her expression softened, and she nodded slowly. I understand. Your words carry meaning that is rare for my people. We observe, we learn, but we do not often feel in this way. You have shared a part of your world with me through words alone. Aaron felt warmth spread through him. He realized that she valued his honesty. He wanted to continue speaking, but he also wanted to be careful with his words. For some reason, Nira's presence made every word feel important. They walked through the station together, visiting trade halls and communication rooms. Aaron explained the human way of life and their technology, while Nira asked questions that showed her sharp mind. She wanted to understand the purpose behind every object and the story behind every practice. At the food market, Aaron offered her a small dish made from human grains and fruits. This is called a meal, he said. We prepare it to share with others. Eating together is important for humans. It is not only about hunger but about connection. Nira accepted the offering carefully. She studied it, smelling the mixture and noting its colors. Your food is simple, but it carries thought. Humans honor life in ways that are invisible but felt. I did not expect this. Aaron smiled. We try. We do not always succeed, but we care. As they moved to another section, Nira's expression changed slightly. She looked curious and hesitant. Aaron, why did you call me lovely yesterday? Aaron froze. His face turned slightly red. I did not mean anything wrong. I spoke honestly, and it slipped from my mouth. I did not think it would matter. Nira tilted her head, her eyes shining. It matters greatly. It was not a word used lightly among my people. Your choice of words is unusual and brave. It made me notice something different about humans. Aaron felt a strange pride. He had not expected such an effect from one small word. I only spoke what I thought, he said. I did not know it would matter to you so much. Nira nodded slowly. It does matter. Humans value words differently, and this small word carried weight. I wish to hear it again. Aaron hesitated, then smiled slightly. You are lovely. Her eyes brightened, and a soft, almost invisible smile touched her lips. Aaron realized that a simple word had built a bridge between them. He felt connected to her in a way he had never felt with anyone else, human or alien. As the day continued, they shared more moments of quiet conversation. Nira asked about human families, their customs, and even about emotions like joy and fear. Aaron explained carefully, using simple words. She listened without judgment, her silver eyes reflecting understanding and fascination. By evening, the station quieted. Trade slowed, and travelers returned to their ships. Aaron and Nira remained in the observation deck, watching a comet pass near the station. Its tail glowed brightly, stretching across space. "It is beautiful," Nira said softly. "Your world is small, yet it has wonders that my people rarely see. I am grateful to experience this." Aaron felt a warmth in his chest. "I am glad you are here. Seeing your reactions makes our world feel alive in ways I never thought it could." Nira turned to him, her gaze calm and focused. "Aaron, humans are brave in their ways. You speak words that carry feelings, and you act despite fear. I see courage in small gestures that my people do not often notice. This is remarkable." Aaron smiled. "I never thought my words or actions could seem remarkable to anyone. But I am learning that even small choices matter, especially when shared with someone who notices them." Nira's expression softened, and she stepped closer. "Then continue speaking, human. Let your words show who you are. They are a gift I did not expect to receive." The station around them hummed quietly. Stars glimmered beyond the glass walls. Aaron realized that the first day of their meeting had grown into something more meaningful. A simple mistake had become a bond. A single word had opened the door to understanding and curiosity. As night fell over the orbiting station, Aaron and Nira stood together in silence. They did not need more words. The connection between them was clear. Something had begun that would grow with time. And both felt it. The human and the alien had discovered that even in a vast universe, small moments and simple words could create bridges between worlds. The next day began like any other on the station, but Aaron felt a quiet excitement. His thoughts often wandered to Nira, and he noticed that she too seemed more curious and relaxed than before. The bond between them was growing, small but undeniable, like the first spark of light in a dark room. The station's comm system buzzed suddenly. A new message arrived from a nearby sector. It was unusual, filled with codes that did not match normal trading frequencies. The station's control team looked concerned, and Aaron watched as technicians hurried to analyze it. Nira stepped closer, her silver eyes narrowing in interest. "What is that signal?" she asked. Her voice was calm but held curiosity. Aaron shook his head. "We do not know. It is not from any registered ship or station. The codes are strange, and the patterns are not familiar." Nira's gaze drifted to the stars beyond the station. "Perhaps it is a call for help. Or a message left by someone who wished to remain hidden. Humans may be able to understand it, but it will take effort." Aaron felt his heart quicken. The idea of a mystery excited him. "I can try to help. Maybe we can decode it together." Nira turned toward him, her silver eyes bright. "Together?" she asked softly. "Yes, together," Aaron said, smiling. "We can study it, and perhaps learn its meaning. I have never done anything like this before, but I want to try." For the rest of the morning, Aaron and Nira worked side by side in the communication room. She studied the symbols carefully, tracing them with her delicate fingers. Aaron explained the human ways of decoding messages, using patterns, repetition, and logic. They shared ideas, often interrupting each other, but each interruption brought new insight. Hours passed. The other aliens watched quietly, but Nira focused entirely on Aaron. She asked questions about his methods, his thought process, and even about human intuition. Aaron explained everything as best he could. He realized that teaching her about humans was also helping him understand himself. Finally, a pattern began to emerge. The codes repeated at intervals, forming shapes that reminded Aaron of the symbols Nira's people used in writing. He pointed at the screen. "Look here. The pattern appears every few hours. If we connect these points, it looks like a map." Nira's eyes widened. "A map? But of where?" "That is the part we do not know yet," Aaron said. "But it is pointing to somewhere. Somewhere out there." He gestured toward the window, where stars stretched endlessly. Nira studied the map carefully. "The energy in these codes is unusual. Whoever sent this message did not want it to be found easily. Humans have never seen signals like this before. Yet it called to you, Aaron. It chose you." Aaron blinked. "Chose me? I do not understand." Nira smiled faintly. "Perhaps it did not choose you alone. It called to the human spirit that seeks knowledge, that is brave enough to act despite fear. You have that, and it drew the message to you." Aaron felt a shiver of pride. He had only followed curiosity, yet Nira's words made it feel as if he had done something remarkable. They spent the afternoon following the map in the station's simulation room. Using holographic projections, they traced the path the code suggested. The map led to a small, uncharted system, far from known trade routes. Stars glimmered, and planets rotated silently around a faint sun. Nira pointed at one of the planets. "This is the source of the message. It is small, with little atmosphere. But there is something hidden there. I can sense it." Aaron nodded. "We have to find out what it is. It could be dangerous, but we cannot ignore it." For the first time, Aaron noticed a change in Nira. Her calmness now held determination. She was not only curious, she was ready to act. He felt a deep respect for her courage. That evening, they returned to the observation deck. Stars glimmered in the distance, but Aaron's mind was focused on the unknown planet. "Do you think we can reach it?" he asked. Nira's silver eyes met his. "Yes. But we must prepare. We do not know what awaits us, and the message may be a test. Humans are capable of surprising courage. You will need to lead the way, Aaron." Aaron swallowed. He had never led anyone beyond the station before. The thought was daunting, but Nira's confidence in him gave strength. "I will try," he said quietly. Nira nodded. "You will succeed. Together, we will uncover this mystery." The following days were filled with preparation. Aaron and Nira gathered supplies, studied the map further, and designed a small ship for the journey. The station's engineers were curious but allowed them to leave, impressed by their determination. Aaron spent every moment with Nira, and each conversation deepened their bond. They spoke of stars, planets, human culture, and her people's traditions. Aaron learned about her childhood on her home world, a place where emotions were often quiet and hidden. Nira learned about human dreams, their struggles, and the small acts of courage that shaped their lives. One evening, as they reviewed the map for the final time, Nira looked at Aaron. "Do you feel it?" she asked softly. "Feel what?" he replied. "The pull of the unknown. The place that called to us. It waits for those who are willing to discover. It may test us, but it will also reveal truths about ourselves." Aaron nodded slowly. "I feel it. I am ready to go. If it is dangerous, I will face it. and I will face it with you. Nira's expression softened, and she stepped closer. Then we are ready. The journey begins, Aaron, and it will change everything. As the station lights dimmed for the night cycle, Aaron and Nira stood together at the observation deck, watching distant stars. The unknown planet glimmered faintly on the edge of the holographic map. It seemed quiet and peaceful, yet both knew it held secrets waiting to be discovered. For Aaron, the thought of the unknown did not bring fear but excitement. And for Nira, the journey was no longer only about discovery, it was about the human who had spoken a single word that had opened her heart. The bond between them had grown stronger than before. The signal had become a promise, a challenge, and a path to something greater. Together, they would follow it, no matter the danger. Aaron and Nira stood at the docking bay, staring at the small exploration ship they would use for their journey to the unknown planet. The ship was simple but strong, built to withstand storms, radiation, and long periods of travel. Engineers had checked every system, but Aaron still felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Nira walked beside him, her silver eyes calm and focused. "Are you ready, Aaron?" she asked. Aaron nodded. "As ready as I can be. I have never traveled this far, but with you, I feel like I can face anything." Nira's lips curved into a faint smile. "Then we begin. The unknown waits for those who are brave enough to explore." They climbed into the ship, and Aaron began the pre-flight checks. He adjusted the controls, monitored fuel levels, and checked navigation systems. Nira watched carefully, asking questions and learning quickly. Her curiosity impressed him. Even in a small ship, her presence made the environment feel larger, brighter, and alive. When the engines roared to life, the station shook slightly, and the ship lifted off. Through the windows, the orbiting station grew smaller until it was only a dot among the stars. Aaron guided the ship into open space, following the coordinates of the mysterious signal. The journey was quiet, with only the soft hum of the engines and the faint beeping of navigation systems. Stars stretched endlessly around them, and Nira often gazed out the window, her thoughts hidden behind her calm expression. After several hours, the signal grew stronger. Aaron studied the readings. "We are close," he said. "The source is within the star system. It is near a small planet. We should approach carefully." Nira nodded. "The energy here is unusual. It is not harmful, but it is alive in a way that humans do not usually detect. It seems to react to our presence." Aaron glanced at her, feeling a mix of wonder and pride. "Then we are not just following a signal. We are being guided." The small ship approached the planet slowly. Its surface was rocky, with pale blue and green patches suggesting water or vegetation. A faint mist covered the land, giving it a mysterious glow. Aaron adjusted the landing systems. "We should find a safe place to land. The terrain looks rough, and we need to study it before exploring." Nira studied the planet from the window. "There is a flat area near the coast. It appears stable. We should land there." With careful control, Aaron guided the ship downward. The engines hummed loudly as they descended, dust and mist rising around them. Finally, the ship touched the ground softly, and Aaron cut the engines. Silence followed, broken only by their breathing. They stepped out of the ship, and Aaron felt the planet's gravity pull gently at his body. The air was thin but breathable, and a cool breeze carried the scent of minerals and water. Nira looked around, her eyes reflecting the pale light of the planet. "This place is old," she said softly. "I can sense its history. Something important is hidden here." Aaron nodded. Then we have to explore carefully. We do not know what we might find, but we are ready. As they moved across the rocky terrain, they noticed unusual structures partially covered by mist. They were tall and made of a strange material, smooth and reflective like metal but lighter than anything Aaron had seen. The structures were arranged in patterns, almost like a city frozen in time. Nira approached one of them and placed her hand on the surface. These structures are not built by humans. They are ancient, older than anything recorded in human history. The energy I felt comes from them. Aaron ran his fingers over the smooth surface. They feel alive. I do not know how, but it is like they are aware of us. Suddenly, the ground trembled slightly. A low hum rose from the structures, vibrating through the air. Aaron and Nero looked at each other, their expressions serious. The structures are reacting to us, Nero said. We must be careful. They may test us, or they may defend something hidden. Aaron took a deep breath. Then we will move slowly. We will observe first and only touch when it is safe. They continued exploring, noting patterns on the structures and symbols etched into the surfaces. Nira traced her fingers over the symbols, her silver eyes narrowing. These symbols are similar to the signal. Whoever created this place wanted it to be discovered, but only by those who are worthy. Aaron felt a thrill of excitement. Then we are on the right path. The message led us here. We just have to understand what it wants us to do next. As they walked further, a faint sound echoed through the air, like the whisper of wind but sharper, almost mechanical. Aaron froze. Did you hear that? Nira nodded. Yes. It is not natural. Something is moving within the structures. We are being observed. From the mist, shapes began to appear. They were not human, yet they were not entirely alien either. Machines with smooth metallic bodies and glowing eyes moved silently among the structures. They did not attack, but their attention focused on Aaron and Nira. Aaron's heart raced, but he remained calm. They are watching us. We should stay still and show no threat. Nira stepped closer to him. Do not fear them. They will not harm us unless we act carelessly. They are tests, observers of those who enter this place. The machines moved around them, scanning and analyzing. Aaron realized that every step they took was being watched. He looked at Nira, who nodded encouragingly. We can do this, she whispered. For the next several hours, they studied the structures, mapping the area and recording observations. The machines continued to follow silently, their glowing eyes tracking every movement. Aaron began to understand that the planet was not abandoned, it was a challenge. The creators wanted to see if intruders were worthy of discovering their secrets. As the day ended, Aaron and Nero found a small clearing and set up a temporary shelter. The machines retreated slightly but remained nearby. Aaron and Nero shared a quiet meal, their thoughts on what they had discovered. This place is more than a planet, Aaron said softly. It is a test, a puzzle left by someone who wanted us to find it. Nira nodded. Yes. And the signal was only the beginning. The real discovery lies ahead. We must be ready for what comes next. Aaron smiled slightly. With you by my side, I feel ready for anything. Nira returned the smile, and for a moment, the tension of the day faded. They stood together in the misty glow of the unknown planet, ready to face whatever the ancient creators had left behind. The first challenge had come, and they had passed it. Yet both knew that greater tests awaited them deeper within the structures. And they were determined to face them together, as explorers, allies, and friends. Aaron and Nira stood before the largest structure they had seen so far. It rose high into the pale mist, its surface smooth and reflective, catching the light of the distant sun. Symbols covered the entrance, glowing faintly as if reacting to their presence. The machines that had been observing them earlier now stood silently around the structure, their glowing eyes fixed on the pair. "This is it," Nira said softly. "The heart of the planet. Whatever the signal wanted us to find, it is inside. But be careful. The trial begins here." Aaron nodded, his hand tightening around the railing of the ship's access ladder. "I am ready. Whatever comes, we will face it together." They stepped inside. The air was cooler here, carrying a faint hum that seemed alive. The walls glowed with patterns that shifted as they moved, showing images of stars, planets, and beings that neither human nor alien could fully recognize. The floor beneath their feet was smooth, almost like glass, and it seemed to pulse gently as they walked. Nira paused to examine a set of symbols etched along the walls. "These are instructions," she said. "Not written in words, but in patterns. The challenge is not to destroy, but to understand. The creators wanted those who enter to use their minds, not just their strength." Aaron studied the symbols. At first, they seemed random, but as he looked closer, he noticed repetition. "It is like a puzzle," he said. "A sequence that needs to be followed carefully. If we move too fast, we could trigger something we do not want." Nira nodded. "We must work together. One mind may miss what the other sees. Watch me, and I will watch you. Together we will succeed." They began moving through the structure, stepping on the glowing floor tiles in a careful sequence. Each step caused the walls to shift slightly, revealing new symbols and patterns. The machines followed silently, observing without interference. Aaron realized that these guardians were testing them, but not threatening them. Their role was to see if the humans and aliens were worthy of the secrets inside. Suddenly, the floor beneath them shifted. Tiles rearranged themselves, creating a new path but also closing off the way they had come. Aaron looked at Nira, alarmed. "This is part of the trial," Nira said calmly. "The structure reacts to hesitation and doubt. We must continue without fear." Aaron took a deep breath and followed her, trusting her instincts. Each step they took required concentration. The symbols on the walls changed constantly, showing sequences that tested memory, logic, and attention to detail. Aaron noticed that when he faltered, Nira guided him with subtle gestures, pointing to a pattern he might have missed. When she hesitated, he gave her confidence by repeating what he saw. Together, they moved carefully, their teamwork becoming seamless. Hours passed, and the trial grew more complex. Light beams crossed the chamber, creating moving obstacles. Aaron realized that stepping into a beam could trigger alarms or shut down a section of the structure. He timed his movements, guiding Nira with hand signals. She mirrored him perfectly, her calmness helping him stay focused. At one point, a series of doors closed suddenly, and a low hum filled the room. Aaron felt tension rise in his chest. "Nira, this feels dangerous. What do we do?" Nira placed a hand lightly on his arm. "Do not panic. The trial is not meant to harm. It is meant to teach. Observe the patterns, trust your mind, and trust each other." Together, they studied the doors. Symbols on the floor indicated a sequence that must be followed to open them safely. Aaron took the lead, stepping on tiles in order while Nira mirrored his movements. The doors opened slowly, revealing a large central chamber bathed in soft blue light. Inside, a pedestal stood in the center, and above it floated a small crystal glowing with the same energy as the signal they had followed. Aaron and Nira approached cautiously. The machines remained at the edges of the chamber, silent and observing. "The crystal is the heart of the trial," Nira said. "It contains knowledge and energy. It responds to those who prove their courage and understanding." Aaron reached out, but hesitated. "What if I make a mistake?" Nira shook her head gently. "We have already proven ourselves by reaching this point. The trial tests more than skill. It tests trust, patience, and the willingness to face the unknown. You are ready." With a steady hand, Aaron touched the crystal. A warm energy flowed through him, filling him with light and understanding. Symbols appeared around them, translating in a way both human and alien minds could comprehend. They saw images of planets, civilizations, and a great machine network that connected countless worlds. Nira's eyes shone with wonder. The creators of this place wanted their knowledge to be shared with those who are brave and wise. They left a test, and we have passed. The crystal recognizes us as worthy. Aaron looked at her, feeling awe and pride. "We did it together. I could not have done this alone." Nira smiled. "No one can. The trial was designed for partnership. For trust. You have shown both, Aaron, and that is why we succeeded." As they studied the crystal, the machines stepped closer. They did not touch or speak, but their presence was respectful. Aaron realized that they were acknowledging the humans and Nira as part of the legacy of this place. He felt a sense of belonging, as if they had been accepted into something much larger than themselves. Hours passed as they explored the central chamber. The crystal shared knowledge about energy sources, navigation, and ancient technologies. Aaron and Nira recorded everything carefully. The trial had not only tested them but had also gifted them tools that could benefit humans and other civilizations. As the sun of the distant system dipped below the horizon of the planet, Aaron turned to Nira. "We have learned so much. I never imagined that following a signal could lead to this." Nira nodded. "The journey is not over. The trial was only the first step. Greater challenges await, and greater knowledge lies ahead. But we have proven ourselves capable. Together, we can face whatever comes next." Aaron felt a surge of confidence. "Then we will continue. Whatever is out there, I will face it with you." Nira's silver eyes met his. "And I with you. The bond we have formed is more than trust. It is a bridge between worlds. It will guide us forward." They left the central chamber as the machines returned to their silent observation posts. The trial had ended, but the experience had changed them both. Aaron understood that bravery and teamwork could unlock secrets of the universe. Nira understood that humans had qualities her people rarely recognized: courage, creativity, and a willingness to risk everything for understanding. As they stepped outside, the mist of the planet's surface glowed softly under the light of distant stars. Aaron looked at Nira and smiled. "We did it. We passed the trial." Nira returned the smile. "Yes, Aaron. And the journey continues. The planet has more to show, and we are ready." For the first time, Aaron felt a deep sense of purpose. They had discovered a hidden legacy, faced a challenge that tested mind and heart, and emerged stronger. And he knew that no matter what awaited them, he would not face it alone. Together, they walked toward the waiting ship, ready to uncover the next part of the planet's secrets and continue the adventure that had begun with a single word. The trial was over, but the story of discovery, courage, and the bond between human and alien had only just begun. The sun of the distant system cast a soft glow over the rocky surface of the planet. Aaron and Nira stood at the edge of the central chamber, looking out across the misty terrain. The trial had been completed, and the crystal had revealed knowledge and energy that could help civilizations across the galaxy. Yet a new challenge now appeared, one that was not physical or mental, but of the heart and mind. Nira turned to Aaron. The trial was only the beginning. The creators of this place have left a choice. We can take what we have learned and return to our worlds, or we can stay and protect this planet and its secrets. The decision is ours. Aaron felt a weight settle on his shoulders. He had hoped for adventure and discovery, but now he realized the responsibility was greater than he expected. Protect it? That means we could never leave? We would have to dedicate our lives to this planet. Nira nodded. Yes. The knowledge we have gained is powerful. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could cause great harm. The creators wanted guardians, not conquerors. This is their choice, now ours. Aaron looked at the glowing crystal again. Its light reflected in Nira's silver eyes, showing determination and a quiet strength. He realized that she was willing to make a great sacrifice for the sake of others. A wave of respect and admiration filled him. I never expected this, he said softly. I thought we would explore, learn, and return home. But this is much bigger. Nira placed a hand lightly on his arm. The choice is not simple. But you are not alone. We can decide together. Whatever we choose will define who we are, not just as humans or aliens, but as beings capable of courage and responsibility. Aaron nodded slowly. Then we must think carefully. What do you want, Nira? Nira looked out over the planet. I want to protect it. I want to ensure that the knowledge here is used wisely. But I also wish to learn more about humans and their world. The choice is difficult because I feel a bond with both. Aaron understood her conflict. He too felt torn. Returning to the station and sharing what they had learned could help many, but the responsibility of guarding the planet was a heavy one. He took a deep breath. I want to protect it too, he said finally. Not because I must, but because it feels right. We have been given this chance, and if we fail, the consequences could be terrible. I do not want that. But staying means we cannot return to our homes easily. Are you certain you want to stay? Nira's eyes met his, calm and unwavering. I am certain. The trial has shown me the importance of balance. The knowledge here must be preserved. And I trust humans more than I expected. Your courage, honesty, and willingness to face the unknown show me that this bond between us is strong. Together, we can guard this planet. Aaron felt a surge of determination. Then we will stay. Not out of fear, but out of choice. We will honor the Creator's intention and protect what they valued. And we will do it together. Nira smiled faintly. Yes, together. This choice will define our journey, but it will also strengthen it. We are not alone. The planet, the machines, and each other will guide us. The machines that had observed them throughout the trial now moved closer, forming a circle around the pedestal and crystal. Their glowing eyes reflected approval and recognition. Aaron realized that the machines were acknowledging their decision. They were not just witnesses but part of the guardianship, silently offering support. The crystal pulsed gently as if understanding their choice. Images appeared, showing civilizations that had existed long ago and those that might rise in the future. The energy seemed to respond to the commitment of Aaron and Nira. They were no longer simply explorers, they had become protectors of a legacy. Aaron turned to Nira. We will need a plan. The knowledge here is powerful. If others find out about it, they may try to take it. We must be prepared. Nira nodded. We will study the systems, learn the structures, and understand the planet fully. We will know every secret, every energy source. Then we can ensure that it is never misused. They spent the next hours walking through the central chamber again, observing the crystal and recording details. Every symbol, every pattern, and every shift in the energy was carefully noted. Aaron felt a sense of purpose he had never known before. This was more than adventure, it was a responsibility that demanded courage, intelligence, and integrity. As the night fell over the planet, Aaron and Nira set up a small base near the central chamber. The machines patrolled silently, their presence comforting rather than threatening. Aaron realized that the planet itself seemed to recognize them, responding to their intention and commitment. Nira approached him, her silver eyes reflecting the soft glow of the crystal. This choice is not easy, Aaron. We leave behind much of our old lives. Friends, family, the familiarity of our worlds. But we gain something greater, a purpose that extends beyond ourselves. Aaron took her hand gently. I understand. And I would not want to face this without you. Together, we can carry this responsibility, and together, we can ensure that the knowledge here benefits the galaxy safely. Nira smiled. Then we are ready. The creators left a path, but it is for us to follow it wisely. Our bond will guide us, as will our courage and understanding. The first day of their guardianship ended quietly. Aaron and Nira stood at the edge of the chamber, looking out over the misty planet. Stars glimmered in the distance, and the soft hum of the crystal echoed in their minds. They felt a connection not only to each other but to the planet itself and the legacy they had chosen to protect. Aaron realized that the choice they had made would change them forever. They were no longer just travelers or explorers. They had become guardians, responsible for knowledge and power beyond anything humans or Nira's people had ever encountered. Yet the weight of that responsibility was balanced by the bond they shared, the trust they had built, and the courage they had shown. Nira turned to him. We have chosen well, Aaron. The trial tested our minds, the planet tested our courage, and now our choice tests our hearts. We have passed all three. Together, we are ready for what comes next. The planet lay quiet under the soft glow of its distant sun. Mist curled over the rocky terrain, and the gentle hum of the crystal in the central chamber filled the air. Aaron and Nira had spent weeks studying the structures, mapping the symbols, and understanding the energy that pulsed through the planet. Each day had brought discoveries, and each discovery had strengthened their bond. Nira stood at the edge of the central chamber, looking at the glowing crystal. We have learned much, she said softly. We know the paths, the patterns, and the guardians of this place. Yet there is always more to understand. The creators left this legacy for those who are patient and brave. Aaron joined her, his eyes reflecting the light of the crystal. It feels strange to be responsible for something so vast. I have never thought my life could be this important. Nira turned to him, her silver eyes calm and steady. It is not importance that matters, Aaron. It is intention. The creators trusted us because they saw that we would act wisely. We do not need to be perfect. We only need to be careful, thoughtful, and courageous. Aaron smiled faintly. I am glad you are here. I could not do this alone. Nira's expression softened. And I am glad you are here. The bond we share strengthens our purpose. Together, we will protect this knowledge, and together, we will honor those who came before us. The machines that had observed them throughout the trial moved among the structures. Their glowing eyes followed every movement, but now they were no longer simply observers. They carried out tasks, adjusting energy flows and maintaining the chambers. Aaron realized that the planet itself was alive in a way he had never known. The creators had built systems that responded to those who were worthy, and he and Nira had become a part of that system. As the days passed, Aaron and Nira explored further. They discovered chambers filled with data crystals containing histories of civilizations long gone. They found mechanisms that could generate energy for entire worlds. Each discovery was a lesson in wisdom, technology, and responsibility. The machines guided them subtly, showing them paths that were safe and hiding areas that were too dangerous to enter. One evening, Nira and Aaron stood on a ridge overlooking a valley where sunlight reflected off smooth metallic structures. "We have come far," Aaron said. "And yet, I feel there is still much to learn." Nira nodded. "The planet is patient. It will reveal its secrets slowly. The knowledge here is not meant to be rushed. Each generation of guardians learns more, and the journey never truly ends." Aaron felt a sense of peace. He had worried about the choice they had made, about leaving their old lives behind. But standing here with Nira, he understood that the path they had chosen was not a loss but a gain. They had purpose, a connection to something greater, and the trust of a civilization that had long since passed. As the night cycle began, the crystal pulsed softly, sending waves of energy through the chamber. Aaron reached out and touched it lightly. The warmth spread through him, filling him with understanding and calm. He felt the knowledge of countless beings, their hopes, their struggles, and their dreams. Nira joined him, placing her hand on his. "Do you feel it?" she asked. Aaron nodded. "Yes. It is like the planet itself is speaking to us. It is teaching us, guiding us, and trusting us." Nira smiled faintly. "Then we have accepted our role fully. We are no longer visitors. We are guardians." Days turned into weeks. Aaron and Nira established routines, maintaining the energy systems, studying new symbols, and documenting their discoveries. The machines remained loyal and helpful, and the planet's energy seemed to respond to their care and attention. Occasionally, they communicated with the orbiting station. Messages were brief and careful, ensuring that knowledge was not revealed too widely. Friends and colleagues sent greetings, unaware of the full scope of their discovery. Aaron sometimes thought of the bustling life of the station, the sounds, and the busy corridors, but he never felt regret. He had found something greater, and he shared it with someone he trusted completely. One day, Nira discovered a chamber filled with small energy crystals, each glowing with a soft inner light. "These are for sharing knowledge," she said. "They can be used safely to teach or guide others who are ready. We must choose carefully who receives them." Aaron nodded. "Then we are not only guardians, but guides. We can help others learn without causing harm. That is the responsibility we were given." Together, they catalogued the crystals, studying the inscriptions and energy patterns. Each one contained lessons, histories, or guidance from civilizations that had built the planet's legacy. Aaron realized that even small acts, careful thought, and patient learning could shape the future. As the cycle of the planet continued, Aaron and Nira grew closer. Their bond was no longer simply friendship or partnership. It was trust, understanding, and respect. They shared thoughts and feelings openly, supporting each other in every challenge. The bond had begun with a single word, spoken by accident, and had grown into something unbreakable, stronger than any trial or challenge. One morning, As the sun of the distant system rose, Aaron stood with Nira at the edge of a high plateau. "Do you ever wonder what life would have been like if we had returned to the station?" he asked. Nira shook her head gently. "No. Our path was always here. We were chosen for this, and the choice we made brought purpose and meaning. The life we have now is richer than any we could have had elsewhere." Aaron smiled. "You are right. I have never felt more alive than I do here, with you and this planet." Nero looked at him, her silver eyes reflecting the sunlight. "And we will continue to grow, learn, and protect. The journey never ends, Aaron. But we are ready, together." The machines moved around them, their presence steady and calm. The planet seemed to hum in response to their commitment. Aaron realized that the legacy of the creators was now intertwined with their lives. They were part of something eternal, a story that would continue far beyond themselves. As they returned to the central chamber, the crystal pulsed brightly, sending waves of light that filled the room. Aaron and Nira stood side by side, hands touching lightly, feeling the connection to the planet and to each other. "This is only the beginning," Nira said softly. "The knowledge, the energy, and the bond we share will guide us. Together, we can face anything." Aaron nodded. "Yes. Together." And as the distant sun rose higher in the sky, the planet lay calm and alive, guarded by two beings who had chosen courage, wisdom, and trust. The legacy of the ancient creators was safe, and a human and an alien had become its protectors, their bond stronger than any challenge, stronger than time itself. The story of discovery, friendship, courage, and guardianship had reached a new chapter, one that would continue for generations, across worlds and stars. Together, Aaron and Nero faced the future, ready for every mystery, every challenge, and every discovery the universe could offer.